This special edition of Studio Jams takes us to Abruzzo, Italy, and the city of Pescara, home of the world-famous Pescara Jazz Festival. Today, rather than watching musicians perform in a recording studio, we're going to meet some of the musicians that appeared at the 2008 festival and feature a few of them in intimate live performance, all coming up on Studio Jams. The Abruzzo region is one of the most beautiful regions in all of Italy. With the Adriatic Sea at its eastern border, Abruzzo includes an endless supply of impressive mountain views, old town centers, charming ancient villages, a number of protected national parks, and many historic churches and castles. Gary Burton taught himself to play the vibraphone, and at the age of 17 made his recording debut in Nashville, Tennessee with legendary guitarist Chet Atkins. Early in his career, Burton developed a pianistic style of four-mallet technique as an alternative to the usual two mallets. This approach caused him to be heralded as an innovator, and his sound and technique were widely imitated. He is also known for pioneering fusion jazz and popularizing the duet format in jazz.
I've played here for probably close to 20 years now. And since then, I've come back every few years with my own bands or with Chicoria or with Pat or whatever. And I consider this, it's not the biggest festival in Europe, but it's one of the nicest. It's got a nice, comfortable feel to it. It's a nice location as well, right here by the sea. So I kind of always am happy when I see it's on the schedule. We met when Pat was quite young. He was a teenager still. He walked up to me and said had been a fan of my music and my band, and wanted to sit in if he could. And I said, well, this is not a good occasion. I'm just actually playing as a guest with another college band at the time. But we stayed in touch, and he soon moved up to Boston, and we started playing together. And soon it just became obvious that he was a great talent, and I liked the idea of inviting him to join my band. So we played together full-time for 4 years, and then it was time for him to start his own band, and since then he's had a fabulous career. This is Gary Burton. You're watching Studio Jams. Don't go away.
The city of Pescara has earned itself the right to be called a major European jazz resort thanks to the storied history of the Pescara Jazz Festival. It is now one of the most respected jazz festivals in the world. It began with an inspiration in 1963 with a performance by legendary saxophonist Gato Barbieri, who at the time was very young and had just arrived in Italy where he had started his career. The official festival was created shortly thereafter and continues to grow every year. It is now the longest-running jazz event in all of Italy.
We had the idea to try to make something here, and we did a concert society, and we started playing some jazz music mostly and classical music. But we had no idea about a festival. In a couple of years, we had here Duke Ellington, Oscar Peterson, and Coleman Hawkins. And we had such a great success that the tourist office asked me, what about making a jazz festival? The peak was in '73 when we had on the same night Keith Jarrett playing a piano solo and Miles Davis with his group. We had 4,000 people. People were standing, sitting on the grass, and there were people who came from all over Europe, and it was really a big success. So we went on that way.
Jazz legend Herbie Hancock has played Pescara Jazz a number of times. Joining him this year was one of the genre's rising stars, guitarist Lionel Louecki.
You know, it's a great band. It's fun to play with those guys. It's not only fun, but for me, I'm learning a lot. You know, I'm in school. Every time I play with Herbie, for me, I'm returning to school, and I'm happy about that. Well, this is my first time, so you know, I think it's definitely one of the biggest festivals in Italy, and just seeing checking the lineup is pretty much impressive. So I think it's great, and I can see the sea on the other side, which is, you know, we can feel the air. I think it's gonna be. I think it is a great festival.
We're here in Pescara at the Jazz Festival. It's a beautiful setting, sunset. We have the ocean behind us. The people are great. The music is awesome. Herbie Hancock rocks. And we just love it here. It's a beautiful festival. We're having a great time.
Trumpeter Enrico Rava is one of the finest jazz trumpeters in all of Italy. Over the years, he has performed and recorded with, among many others, Pat Metheny, John Abercrombie, and Joe Lovano. Born and raised in Italy, Rava originally played trombone before changing to the trumpet after hearing Miles Davis.
This is a very special place. What makes it important is the level of the program, which is steadily very high, had been steadily very high for 36 years. The fact that this thing had been going on for 36 years is very special. I don't know another festival who lasted that much. When I moved to New York, in the first couple of years, I did a lot of jam sessions. Charles Moffett, that was the drummer of Ornette Coleman Trio, that almost every day he would pick me up with his car and bring me to every possible club in New York and had me to sit in with I sat in with Hank Mobley, with Shep, with everybody, because Charlie was introducing me to those musicians.
It's a wonderful occasion to listen to to a world-level jazz, and with this view from the sea and the mountain on the other side, I think it's just unique from Abruzzo's country. And if you want, you can meet us here for listening to some good jazz.
Coming up on Studio Jams, more from Pescara Jazz. Pianist Kerem Gorsav was born in Istanbul, Turkey. He studied piano at the Istanbul Municipal Conservatory and continued his music education at the Istanbul State Conservatory. Over the years, he has performed with many internationally known jazz musicians, including Eric Revis, Alan Harris, Clifford Jarvis, Russell Gunn, Kenny Garrett, Joshua Redman, and Wynton Marsalis.
Almost, last 36 years, many great musicians came here. Count Basie, Mulgrew Miller, my favorite piano player, Kenny Barron, everybody, Duke Ellington Orchestra, very historical jazz festival. Also, this city is 100,000 people live, but you can find many jazz musicians here. Jazz is traditional for this city. I love jazz, Jazz is my favorite things in my life. Jazz always give me happiness, not sadly. Always give me happiness, smiling, that's it for me.
The adventures keep coming when you're going 6 with Motel 6. If you're serious about jazz, then Motel 6 wants to help you take the Motel 6 jazz journey. Follow in the footsteps of famous jazz musicians who helped spread the sound from New Orleans to cities like Memphis, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Chicago. Simply go to www.goin6.com to find Motel 6 locations that can help you save as you travel. By staying and saving at Motel 6, you've got more opportunities to do things and see things that others won't. They make it possible for you to really save on accommodations in order to splurge on other travel expenses. Visit www.motel6.com or goin6.com today and see what makes them so special. This program has been made possible thanks to Motel 6, a leading supporter of meaningful arts and music education in America. Motel 6, we'll leave the light on for you.
Hi, I am Kerem Görse, a piano player from Turkey. You are watching always Studio James. Don't go away.